Good morning, everyone. In India, in every 8 seconds, there is a identity theft. As you can see in this images, newspaper cutting beside me, you can understand how this is affecting India, how it is affecting the world, right? The bad player sitting at your home can steal your identity using a single email or a single button click. That's very dangerous, I guess, right? In traditional times, in old times, we used to have physical identity cards to identify ourselves. For example, Aadhaar card or your driving license. We used to have it as physical with us for identify ourselves. Right now, in the digital era, we have that identity inside our mobile phones, inside our laptops, devices, etc. So it's all mobile, right? The identity is all present inside the mobile phones, etc. Now, let me explain you a story. Let me tell you a story of a guy named Bhupinder Jogi. Bhupinder Jogi receives an email on his email address saying that you have won a voucher of, let's say, like rupees, and for accessing that prize money, you will have to log in into a website. Once logged in into a website, they ask him to upload his Aadhaar card and PAN card. Phishing. Have you ever understand that term? Have you ever listened of that term? That's what was happening there. After uploading the Aadhaar card and PAN card, he didn't got prize, but he was phished. His identity was completely stolen. Now, while moving forward, we will understand how Bhupinder Jogi fight that crime, what happened with him. But before that, let me introduce myself. Hi, I am Gaurav from miniOrange. I have 1.5 year of experience in identity management, and I'm a cybersecurity researcher, and obviously a fighter against digital identity theft. Besides that, I dance, and I'm an athlete, so if you want, we can have a dance face-off after this session. It will be good, right? Going forward, the battle against digital identity theft. The identity which you are having is the personalist thing you can ever achieve, right? So now in this session, we will understand how the identity is stolen, what methods did a bad player or influencer uses to steal your identity, and what can we do to preserve that out and understand what can happen. So first, let's go into deep and dwell upon what is digital identity. What encompasses the digital identity encompasses what we are in a digital online realm. Basically, you can understand it by a small example. When you enter any organization, you show your mobile phones. You show an RFID tag to click on a device. They identify yourselves there. They understand that you are the correct person entering the organization. So this is also a digital identity. Digital identity basically distinguish yourself as a personalized individual who is trying to access any resources. Moving forward, let's understand what is digital identity theft. For making you understand that, let's consider a small game, Jenga. Everybody have played Jenga right here? So if we consider each Jenga pieces as our personalized identity, what will happen? If main identity source or any main Jenga pieces get plugged out, all your digital ecosystem or all your personalized ecosystem present in digital realm will be fallen down into pieces. In the case of Jogi, the Aadhaar card and PAN card was stolen, which led to creating of fake bank accounts, money laundering, etc. That caused the completely personalized information fall down for Bhupinder Jogi. The shadow self here represent only one single thing, that the bad player is not coming out front and saying that I am doing the bad practices. The shadow self here you can understand it by that it's a shadow casted by a bad person and use it against me for money laundering and various other malpractices. Moving forward, here's a meme for you guys. So this is what digital identity stolen is. Who are you? You. So you can see it's easy. A person will will impersonate you to do the malpractices right away. Moving forward, let's understand the types of digital identity theft. What happens when in your day-to-day life, you access various identity of yours तुम जहां भी जाते हो वहां पे एक आइडेंटिटी होती है तुम्हारी कि मैं ये हूं, आई एम गौरव, दैट्स योर आइडेंटिटी, राइट? Everywhere you go in day-to-day life, there is identity attached to yourself. So let's understand what are the types of identity theft. From going to financial to the child. First, financial. My credit card gets stolen. My PAN card gets stolen. And what happened? That PAN card and then that credit card is used snatching my money away from me, for money laundering, etc. In office, let's say I work in miniOrange, and my identity card, which I have, is stolen by any individual who is not authorized to access my resources, but he uses that resources to access my online, my organization basically, and you use it to do bad practices, sharing of my personalized email, sharing my company's data. So that's also identity theft. Medical, everybody here will have insurances, right? So the insurance present with you have premiums. It can be used for making illegal operations once stole out from you, right? And moving on to passport, the major concern here is the passport is important because passport चोरी हो गया तो तुम international culprit बन जाओगे directly. So it's like if the passport gets stolen, you will be international culprit right away, and it will be used for illegal travel, child trafficking, etc. Children, being a child, you get issued a birth certificate, right? That birth certificate is used for making out your bank details, for your Aadhaar card, etc. So children are the most prominent type of identity theft that is faced in India. Now we have understood what are the kind of identity theft we have. Now moving forward, we will understood how these identities are stolen by the bad players. The major aspect of this presentation is how they are being stolen and how we will be safeguarding our identity right away. So in this pie chart, you can understand the basic methods which the theft or which the thief uses to access your identity out of yourself, right? Phishing, you already know, Jogi, an email received on your environment, on your email address, and you click an account and your data gets stolen, right? Moving forward, malware injection is like injecting a small virus or a small malware inside mobile devices, which can breach out your data and use basically personal information, which will be used in bad sense, right, for malpractices. Data breaches. After this slide, we will do a small activity which will let you know that how your data has been breached by logging into various different web addresses. So it would be a nice activity. Hold on for that. And another one is account takeover. Account takeover is like taking the username and password of an individual and logging into his sites. तुम्हारा Instagram में login हो जाता है तो तुम्हारा digital identity तो वैसे खत्म हो जाएगी सारी, because your every personal details are inside your Instagram. Day-to-day life is inside your Instagram. So this is the chart. Now while moving forward in this presentation, we will keep our focus on data breaches and malware to understand how we can safeguard ourselves from that. So this is the activity I was telling you about. Can you guys please scan this QR code right away? Once you scan this QR code, you will be shown with a site. Have I been pawned? Right now I'm also opening that website and I'm trying to access my email address from it. So once you open it, what will happen? The site will be open, and then when you scan it out, you can enter your email address there. Were you guys able to do that? When you enter your email address there and click on pawn, you will see the web addresses, the sites where your data has been breached upon. Shocking, right? It's like easiest process to log in into some apps, etc., and then you will be data breached. This is how all over world is facing the issue. The data has been breached right by a single click of time. So I have also done that, and while I'm seeing my data, I'm seeing that my data has been compromised on Canva. The presentation which I have used, this presentation is made only on Canva, and my data on the Canva is already breached, right? Shocking. Domino's, I ordered my pizzas, my burgers from Domino's, and you understand, I have credit cards present on my Domino's site. My credit card is stored on my Domino's site. So once I access that Domino's site, I order my pizza and my credit card details are there. My data has been breached. My identity card, my credit card, and my Aadhaar card is already been stolen. And also, the Adobe is one of the data breaches. That is the major part, because Adobe works as IDP as well, the identity provider. While using Adobe, you can access various other services. So once Adobe data is breached, your whole ecosystem is completely gone down. Moving forward, the activity was nice, right? So now we will understand, we have understood how the data has been breached, what all methods does a bad player use to steal your identity from yourself, and we will build a data fortress out of it. We will understand the process, how to build that digital fortress out of it. I told you about phishing, I told you about malware injection, I told you about data breaches. Now what can we do so that these all resources of I which I'm having is not get stolen? I research upon it a lot. I read many articles to safeguard my identity, because I'm a cybersecurity enthusiast, and if my identity is stolen, then what kind of enthusiast I am, right? So I try to research upon that. I understand what I can do is I can focus on 3 A's of cybersecurity, like authentication, authorization, and accounting. Let's focus on authentication, authorization. If my identity is with me and it is secured with me, I will authenticate the user who is trying to access my identity. Then I will authorize the user who is using my identity that, yeah, you only have the permission for having my Aadhaar card, and you only have the permission to have my financial card or my PAN card, right? So I can authorize the user, I can authenticate a user. So the phishing cannot happen in this case. Phishing will happen when my username and password are stored for every different email address. Let's say, for example, my Amazon user ID password is Amazon and admin. That majority of you will be having your laptop password as 1234. I used to have when I was a child. So this kind of phishing and malware practices can be eradicated using the three A's of the cybersecurity. So let's understand, what should we do? You are here, you would be here in first day, and you would have listened to some session talking about single sign-on, password voting, etc. We will not be doing that. That's boring. That's a old technology. That was from 2005. Now we are in 2023. We will understand what Indian government is doing to safeguard identity, and what is the new practices that we must be doing. So let's understand the traditional ones first. Centralized identity, using single username and password in various other websites. Like, for example, my Instagram password, my Snapchat password, and my Facebook password are same. So if one of my identity is breached, one of my password is stolen, my whole ecosystem goes down. So we require to shift from centralized identity to federated identity. Why the shift happens? Because of password vulnerabilities, and where we have to shift to password vault and to single sign-on process, old but gold. The federated identity came into play with single sign-on processes. The single sign-on arose when there is a need of web-based application and SaaS applications. And yeah, let's say I'm logging into multiple services of mine using Google. I log into Google and access multiple services like Zoho, Bitbucket, and Slack, which are used in my organization again. So once I log in, what happened? I am saying Google that you have my every permission. Just log me into any services. But that's wrong, right? We cannot trust Google. Why would I trust Google? I have my own identity. Why would I trust Google? I am not understanding that. So that's why I realized that what can we do is to build an ecosystem where I have the control of my own identity. I am the whole soul of my own identity. So what led to the shift is privacy and data protection. And where are we shifting now is a good term. You must be confused by that. So brace yourself. The decentralized identity, DID. The newest technology which you can understand right now in the current era. SAML was implemented in 2005. The decentralized came back in 2020. Guys, it is the latest technology. And the truth about this technology is there is no consensus about these technologies. अभी किसी को नहीं पता है इसको किस तरह से scalable solution में build करें. So many organization, Okta, miniOrange as well, IBM, Adobe, even Indian authority and US authority are currently working on the decentralized identity. It's an identity source built on the blockchain. The blockchain will sound nice, right? Now let's understand how this decentralized identity will happen. Let's touch the surface of decentralized identity and understand how the phishing attack can be mitigated using this identity. So when I say touch the surface, let me explain you what decentralized identity is. In decentralized identity, the user will have the control of his own identity. Nobody else without my permission can access my identity, can access my resources. This will help me decide who to give permission to and what permission should I give to the user. So it's simple, right? Decentralized means I have eradicated the word centralized from the identity sources. There is no username password stored anywhere. Everything is with me. Nobody else can access that. Moving forward, let's understand with an example. It's a basic example. Everybody has gone to airport, right, sometime. You, airport authority and Aadhaar are the examples. Once you access the airport authority in traditional time or in current time as well, what happens? You go to the main gate, the guard is standing there. You show a physical valid identity proof of yourself that this is the person who is trying to access the airport. They matches your face. Yeah, you are right. Oh, your birthmark. Yeah, you are right. You go inside. And when they validate yourself, they understand that the person showing the identity is the correct person, is the person who he is claiming to be. So right now what is happening, a new technology is coming in India called DigiYatra. Have you listened about DigiYatra? So what happens in DigiYatra and DigiLocker is the identity which we have is stored inside a wallet. So once I have my identity with me, I am the only authorized person who can access that identity right away. So here is the example for you once again. So in this case, when I enter the airport authority premises and I have my Aadhaar card with me and I'm the holder of that Aadhaar card, so three basic pillars of decentralized identity would be the same right here. Issuer, holder and verifier. Issuer is the authorities who is issuing me my identity. Here the Aadhaar or Passport India Authority. The holder is the person who is holding the identity of himself. मेरे पास मेरी identity है, मैं उसका holder हूँ. I will decide whom to give the access to my identity is. And the verifiers. The services which I am trying to access using that identity are the verifiers. Basically, I am trying to enter airport. The airport authority is my verifier. The authority will verify that I am the correct person to enter the airport or not. Right? A good example to understand the flow of DigiYatra and DigiLocker. Now let's understand how this ecosystem is built upon. How we have built an ecosystem so that the DigiLocker or a wallet can access my personal identity card and I can use that to verify myself with the DigiLocker, with the Authority of India. So here's the flow chart where we can see that I will install a wallet on my mobile phone. Once I install a wallet in my mobile phone, I will ask the issuer to send me my details, my Aadhaar card details. So let's say I've installed DigiLocker in my mobile phone. Okay. So once I install DigiLocker in my mobile phone and I want to access my 10th class mark sheet. So I will ask the CBSC to send me my 10th class mark sheet because I need it to verify myself in my college. So once I access that 10th class mark sheet by a single button click, the issuer will send it to me and it will be stored inside the wallet which I am having. In this case, I would be having DigiLocker as a wallet. So it will be stored directly in my wallet. Now what will happen further? The identity is stolen. Now it's on me where I have to verify myself to show, I will show the identity to the person who I'm trying to verify. I will show that identity to my college or let's say in this example, I will show my identity, my Aadhaar card to the Airport Authority of India that I am the correct person, I am the person who is trying to access the resources which I am having. Now let's understand how the identity is created. I will go to my wallet app. I will click on a single button. When I will click on a single button, what will happen? The issuer will know that he is trying to access the identity. Once the identity is being sent to me, the wallet will store the identity inside it and it will generate a key pair. The public key will be stored inside the ledger and the private key will be kept inside the wallet. So it will be used for verifying my credentials. To understand this basic flow, let's first understand how this process is happening, and then we will dwell upon the basic understanding or basic technologies of these all situations right here. So Once the wallet is accessed by me and the issuer send me my identity card or my Aadhaar card, what will happen is the wallet will generate an identifier. Identifier will be used to verify me as a person in this ecosystem, and at the same time the key value pair will be used to validate that the person who is trying to access is correct or not. Now, the fetching of documents, it's a simple process. We use new web APIs. With a single button click, the issuer will send out the details to the person who is trying to access the wallet or person having the wallet. Once the issuer send out the identity to the wallet, it will be stored inside the wallet as I told earlier, and the key value pair will be pushed on the ledger to verify the process. Going forward, this is the example of what the Aadhaar card will look like inside your wallet. Fascinating, right? Issuer, subject, user claims, and signature. So this is also based on three value process: issuer, user claims, and signature. The issuer will be the person who is issuing me identity card. Here, the Indian authority. The subject contains, or the user claim contains, the name, ID, address, proof, etc. of me to validate myself that I am the correct person using it, and the signature, that is the government of India. How will I validate that the document issued was from the correct person? Is from the signature, the government of India. Have you ever seen your passport? There's an anti-tampering mechanism present on the passport that you cannot tamper it right away. So signature is like that only. You cannot tamper the signature. It is used for verifying the document is sent from correct issuer or not. Going forward, let's understand how the verification process takes place. So up till now, what I have done is I have installed my wallet inside my mobile phone. I have asked the Indian authority to send my details or send the Aadhaar card to my wallet, and I have stored it. I have stored the public key to the ledger, and I have stored the private key to my wallet. So this was all the fetching document and installing process. Now let's understand what is verifying a document process is. I have a wallet, I have a DigiLocker, I will go inside the airport, I will try and show my wallet, or in mobile phone we have RFIDs and we have Bluetooth device, right? So I have a device there. I will just use my mobile phone, hit the device, and it will validate me. It will start the verification process. So the document where I am, the document here is implicated to the Aadhaar which I am using to trying to access the Airport Authority of India. So the three major trust policies here will come into play. The airline will trust Indian authority, and the wallet will trust airline, and the wallet will again trust the authority of India that the issue was correct or not. So once the let's understand the trust by the federated identity example. You have used single sign-on, right? So here the trust was between identity provider and the service provider to validate the user that's correct or not through some configuration. Similar configuration are made in the decentralized identity format as well, where the authority of Airport Authority and Authority of India who's trying to give me the Aadhaar card, there's a trust relationship between each other. While configuring the trust policies between each other, the airline will know where the public key of the Authority of India is stored to verify the documents. So I access the airport, I show the guard that this is my identity. Please verify myself. So show the guard or show the RFID tag that what my identity is. So what will happen? The process starts generating. The airline authority get your document. They will start validating you. First of all, what will they do? They will verify that you are the correct person or not. And secondly, they will verify that the Aadhaar card coming is from correct source or not. So let's understand the Aadhaar card representation that we give authority of air. What happens in, what is the document structure of Aadhaar card, which we give to the airport. So here also we have issuer. The issuer contains the authority who is providing me with the Aadhaar card. The user claims containing my user details. The government of India signed document, and it is again signed by me. So major thing here is the document is signed by me. So I am the whole soul of this document now. The issuer has been gone. Now I have the document with myself. I am the whole soul of this document. I am understanding that. So now what airport authority will do? It will check that the ID issued is by a correct authority or not, and the person who is claiming that his identity is correct person or not. So this is, let's move further. Let's understand how the airport authority will validate that holder who is trying to access the premise is correct or not. So once I install a wallet and public key stored inside the ledger, what will happen? The airport authority will again trust me and ask me for my identifier to validate that I am a correct person. Once I show the airport authority my identifier, they will start validating my process. They will start verifying the person trying to access is correct or not. So the identifier here will identify myself, and the key value pair will verify my identity, that the correct person is trying to access or not. So this is how the holder is verified in authority of airport. Going forward, let's understand how we are controlling identity. We have talked about the ecosystem. We have talked that how once we enter the airport authority, how the process happens, how the airport authority validate me, how I get document from the Indian authority. Now let's understand. From the starting, I'm saying the battle can be fought by us only. We are the whole soul of this battle. So let's understand how we are controlling our identity. So in this case, we will be doing a self-signed credential format. What will happen here? If I am the whole soul of my identity, I will decide who to give my identity to and who can access my identity right away. So remember, I said major important part is when I show my Aadhaar card or my digital wallet to airport authority, it contains my signature. So the document is signed by me, and I can validate the person who is trying to verify me is correct or not. So here in this case, user can now choose that who can access self-signed credential, asking them to, let's say, for example, in validated identity, you cannot verify yourself. You were the third person seeing out the flow. In this case, you will be the first person. You will be the person whose credentials are going to be verified, and you will be the person who can understand and who can tell how my credential is going to be verified. So this leads to the concept of self-sovereign identity, where my identity is with me and only I can decide who will access my identity or not. So this mitigates the phishing attack and the malware breaches and the data breaches. Let's say if somebody tries to phish me, somebody send me an email address saying that you want a voucher card again, and you can access the voucher card by admitting your Aadhaar card and PAN card details. So when I'm trying to phish, I can understand that the authority is not correct of that person. If the source of that email is not authenticated and authorized to access my identity, I can stop myself from that phishing. I can stop verifying my credentials against that phishing authority. Now let's move forward and understand the trust triangle. So the trust is the major concept in cybersecurity. We should trust the entities. We have to trust the entities to validate ourselves. So here in this case, the Indian authority, airline, and the wallet user, Jogi, will trust each other. They will trust that the person issuing, person verifying, and the person holding the identity is correct or not. Moving forward, let's dive deep into the decentralized identity. What are the basic entities of decentralized identity and how this decentralized identity is attained? While telling you the complete ecosystem, I was again and again mentioning about the three major concepts here: the wallet, the ledger, and the verifiable credentials. So the wallet is present with you inside a mobile phone, like DigiLocker and DigiYatra. The ledger is the place where we store our identity or store our public key, and the credential are the self-signed credential that I show airport authority to validate that I am the correct person who is trying to access it. Let's move forward and understand. So here you can see the three major actors here will be wallet, ledger, and verifiable credentials. Digital wallet. Wallet is a mobile application that will manage my identity. Once I install my wallet will generate an identifier, identify me, a key pair that will be used to validating my identity right away. So exchanging of verifiable credentials that I am the correct person who is trying to access my identity card, or I am the person who is authorizing the person to access my identity card, happens to a wallet. Everything that is decryption, encryption, creation, and updation of my identity happens through my wallet only. Let's understand the decentralized identifier. How I am going to identify myself in this ecosystem? That's we are going to understand. So once you see this random string, what do you understand? This string contains a prefix, a method or a ledger where my public key is stored, and an identifier of mine, where I am being identified with this particular string. So it is resolvable, right? It contains method which gives us idea about how this decentralized identifier will be resolvable and can be used to verifying my credential, verifying my identity. So let's understand what are ledgers. Ledgers are the main concept here. Ledgers, I've installed my wallet inside my mobile phone. The public key will be stored inside a ledger. So this public key will be used to verify my credentials. So where do I get the public key to verify myself? How? If this process will not going to end if I'm not going to verify the sources where my identity is coming from and the sources where I'm showing my identity to. So this is the ledgers example which you can see. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sovereign, IPFS. These all store the public key of the user currently. This is in the building process right now. So the major implementation of this is seen in DigiLocker, where we uses a peer-to-peer decentralized identifier. Are you with me, guys, in this? So basically, let's understand what ledger is. When I was a child, I used to have many friends. We used to buy each other things. We used to buy each other's toys. We used to have a notebook with us, where we maintain that this person has bought this toy from me for this amount of day. What happened one day? My one friend make a false entry on it, and we were fighting about it. That's the current entry or not. So we decided to keep a centralized notebook. A centralized notebook in which we can maintain every details of ourselves, of our transaction between each other, and store it for using in further processes. And then we decided, let's make a copy of this centralized notebook and distribute among each other. हर बंदे के पास अपनी एक नोटबुक होगी. उस नोटबुक में वो अपने ट्रांजेक्शन्स लिखेगा और साथ ही साथ दूसरे ट्रांजेक्शन को दूसरा इंसान कर रहा है वो भी साथ में मेंटेन करता रहेगा. So what will happen? When I try to enter my transactions there, let's say I bought a bat from a friend, I write down the transaction. Now on the second day, my friend bought the ball from me. I will write the transaction right away. So a chain will be created. Each transaction will be after each other, and each transaction will be holding the identifiers of each other, that this transaction was made earlier and this transaction was made tomorrow. And as the notebook is spread among each other, the copy of the notebook is spread among each other. So the person, if any person tries to enter a false entry, we can caught that person. So the ledger here will be a centralized source which is not controlled by any individual or any organization. It's a publicly widespread document type of thing which cannot be hacked or which cannot be falsely entered. Now let's move on verifying credentials. In this verifying credentials, what happened? So here's the concept of EID. I access the airport authority. I show them my wallet and I'm verifying myself. So how come airport authority will know that I am the correct person entering? I've told you that's the self-sovereign identity, where I have signed my document and they will verify my document using my public key. So this is verifying credentials. The airport authority, the issuer, and the holders again and again verifying the credentials that the document coming from or the person trying to access the identity is correct or not. This is the major reason why we are shifting to decentralized identity. Now what's next? I remember talking this decentralized identity to the major players of my organization, and they told me, is it scalable? I was not able to answer that right now. And I was thinking of then examples how we can scale it, how we can enhance the use of decentralized identifier to fight the battle against digital identity theft. I thought of an example. What say a DigiLocker or DigiYatra? It is scalable. Yeah, it is scalable, but not in every aspect. Let's say my grandfather lives in a village. He don't know about DigiLocker. He don't know about DigiYatra. So the thing here is, this is not scalable. We are trying to implement it. We are trying to move forward and implement these technologies. So there will be many possibilities of eradication of this technology. Let's move next. Takeaway. The major takeaway here is how we can fight the battle against the digital identity theft. हम कैसे बच सकते हैं उन phishing email से, उन malware injection से, हम उस data breaches से. and we understood what are the methods the bad player uses to access your identity from out of yourself. And if stolen, the identity can be used for money laundering, creating fake bank accounts, cybercrime, etc. And after that, we understood the 3A principle: authentication, authorization, and accounting. And we understood how a decentralized identity can be used to eradicate all these malpractices and the identity theft. Right? So this was my time, guys. Please, your feedback values to me a lot. Just scan this QR code and provide me with the feedback. I will try and work on it and see you next year with the same. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah.
What are the problems in scaling decentralized?
Okay, let's say you have DigiLocker, I have DigiLocker. And as I told you, my grandfather present in my village do not have the DigiLocker. So I cannot scale it right away. Second thing is implementing blockchain in India is not done. So if the blockchain is not implemented, if the ledger is not implemented in India, how can we scale it to the mass level? We are researching on it. We are trying to access how we can do that. And when it is done, then it will be the best possible way to authenticate ourselves and to safeguard our identity. Any other questions? Yeah.
What else that? And work
Good morning. It's just a basic question. While saying against like data protection, you mentioned password vault.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a question that how does password vault safeguard our passwords? Because I don't trust my password vault. So
Yeah, so I was also saying that. Do not trust your password vaults. Move to patented and decentralized. So I will explain you how password book can help you. Let's say you have the same password for Instagram, Snapchat, and your other social media. I have a password, very hard password to crack. I just move random string. You know, the adding special character inside a password increase the decryption time to 900 seconds, I guess. So that's strange, right? So the password vault will store your password and will not allow you to replicate your password again and again to different sources. So I will enter an website. I will enter the username and password. The password will be वो मुझे बताएगा कि password क्या हो सकता है. Best password for you. I will use this password and I will store it. So now in this case I won't have to remember password again and again. User management और मेरी experience बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी उसके साथ. Secondly, the password which the password vault is suggesting will be strong. So password breaches will not happen. And for every email address which I am having, I will have different passwords over there. So सबके लिए different passwords हैं. तो अगर एक password breach होता है, तो my other services which I am using is safe. So that's why the password.
just one more thing.
Yeah.
How do I make sure that my password vault is not leaking my passwords?
Yeah. So I will tell you a fun fact about that. Have you heard about LastPass? So LastPass is the most commonly used the password vault. It has also been breached. So that's shocking, right? Yeah. We cannot trust the third-party tools. That's why we are moving to decentralized. Because I am the authority. I don't need anybody else to validate my password and give me the suggestions. I am my password only, right? So that's why we are moving from password vault to single sign-on and to decentralized.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't you think with decentralized system all over, more fake identities will be considered as verified and people will misuse it as their own
How?
verified identity?
No. Let's take an example. Let's say you are in college and you want to validate yourself by 12th class mark sheet. Who has the authority of 12th class mark sheet? CBSE. If CBSE is sending with that mark sheet, I am installing it over my wallet. CBSE send me with a signature. I will use the public key stored to decrypt and understand that the mark sheet is coming from correct source or not. If I am able to authorize that it's from correct source, I will store it inside my wallet and use it. So I have to not misspread my identity and give it to other people, right? I will store my identity myself inside my mobile application. So it's verifiable, right? With the credential is verifiable because I have signed that document. So nobody will be able to use my false identity to access my any services. You understand?
One option. This is
Hello. Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Recently in 2023, Aadhaar database were leaked around
Yeah,
80 crores.
yeah.
So in that way, data is breached. So how DID will help to ensure the integrity?
So the Aadhaar card data that was leaked that you're talking about is not from DigiLocker. It was the database that Indian government has created, and it was leaked due to some phishing attack and also
True.
the data breach.
Yes,
You
yes.
remember that?
Yes, yes.
So in this case, you remember I said about ledger.
Yeah.
So ledger will store our public key to decrypt the verifiable credential, to validate the verifiable credentials.
Okay. But
Right. So ledger cannot be hacked
yes,
because
better
it's a chain process. You cannot put out something out from the chain and you can make the chain again, right?
True.
Yeah.
But if data is already there with them, so they can manipulate the data and they can use the DigiLocker to ensure that they can reach the data again, right? So what is the possibility?
So
like?
how is data breach? Tell me. Phishing attacks?
For example, if that other database is leaked, they know all the data, all the numbers, everything, name, everything.
Yeah.
Now what they will do? They will install the DigiLocker and put and update and manipulate, and they can go inside.
They cannot push. They can't install DigiLocker and put the identities there directly.
Okay.
They cannot.
Okay.
Signed. This is signed. So let's say the data is breached.
Yeah.
How will you sign the data? How will you sign a document that is coming from Indian authority? Data is breached. My user claims are with them. My issuer is with them. The issuer is with them. How will they sign the document that this is from the Indian authority? Signature cannot be breached, right?
Right, correct.
Simple. So if the document is signed and nobody else can sign that document, how the data will be breached, right?
Correct. Yes. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next questions, please. That's it. I hope you guys have a nice time. Please provide me with the feedback. It will make me improve on myself. Right. Thank you for your time, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy Identity Shield.